Dwayne Johnson, or The Rock, as he is better known in WWE circles, is a cult hero and icon of pro wrestling. And given how big he is, there is a current buzz throughout the world of professional wrestling as his real-life daughter is set to make her debut. But it hasn't come without controversy. Today we are talking about how The Rock's daughter has been caught in a fan furor ahead of the WWE debut. Stay tuned. Let's jump straight in then. What's the controversy all about? Well, as we know, Simone Johnson, daughter of Dwayne, is set to make her UFC debut, but some fans have been left a little dismayed. Of course, it is nothing personal, it is all down to the name she has chosen to be recognized by when she appears in the organization which made her dad famous. Earlier this month, Simone announced that she would be making her WWE debut under the name Ava Raine, which fans instantly questioned. It's pretty easy to see that the name she has chosen has little to no relation to her superstar father, and some fans have suggested she has missed a trick, whilst one fan online said that it was completely nonsensical that the WWE had chosen to move away from her famous dad and not recognize her as his daughter. Others suggested she could have used names such as The Pebble, The Stone, or Mini Rock, but Johnson herself shot back saying, "I probably sound like a broken record, and hopefully this is the last I'll mention this, but I don't understand why people being portrayed as separate individuals from their family name is such a heated topic," before suggesting that a different name doesn't wash away what her dad accomplished. And of course, the same people would probably have jumped on her if she had chosen to acknowledge her father with her name. So this all just sounds like people complaining about the sake of complaining. What do you guys think? Next up, what do we know about her debut? Stay tuned to find out. The daughter of one of WWE's greatest ever stars signed up to the promotion back in 2020, but has so far been unavailable through injury, which has obviously kept her on the sidelines. And if you follow pro wrestling, you will also probably realize that she is the fourth-generation pro wrestler in the family, which is a pretty incredible statistic. As well as dad, her grandfather Rocky was also a WWE Hall of Famer, as well as her great-grandfather, the High Chief. And at the same time, Simone spoke of how much signing to the promotion meant to her, acknowledging the family trailblazers that came before her. She said, "To know that my family has such a personal connection to wrestling is really special to me, and I feel grateful to have the opportunity not only to wrestle, but to carry on that legacy." And the latest incarnation of the Johnson family wrestling dynasty should be fit and healthy soon enough, which will almost certainly see her make her WWE debut later this year sometime. Fingers crossed. And speaking about his daughter making her first performance in the promotion, The Rock himself spoke of how much of an honor it was that she would want to follow in his footsteps. He went on to say, "Following in my footsteps sounds cliche, but she actually wants to create and blaze her own path, which is so important." Are you excited for Simone's debut? Let us know below. We're discussing a potential return to the ring for Simone's old man now. Barely a week goes by without someone, somewhere, claiming The Rock will be making his imminent return to professional wrestling. And just over 2 months after WrestleMania 38, one betting company had gone as far as to offer odds on the fact that The Rock and Roman Reigns will headline the next WrestleMania event, which is still almost a year away. Gone are the days when you have to walk into a betting office. You can even bet on things that might not even happen. Crazy. A company called Bet Online has decided that The Rock versus Roman Reigns has a pretty decent chance of happening and has the People's Champ opening as a slight underdog. Reigns would have come in a 4-7 favorite or -175 if you happen to be American, whilst Rocky opens at 27-20 plus 135. Of course, the pair are cousins, but The Rock's obvious ring rust has probably factored into the odds here. And whilst the match has long been touted as the one fans would most want to see, Reigns himself has stoked the fires by suggesting that if his famous cousin were to return, he would be ready to welcome him back. And in one episode of Young Rock, you might even remember Young Rock himself telling Reigns that the only way the two could ever wrestle each other would be on the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania. What do you guys have if this one ever goes down? Next up, we're discussing Johnson's thoughts on Black Adam. Of course, Simone's old man will soon be appearing in the DC movie Black Adam, of which the first trailer recently dropped. And speaking recently, the creator of one of the best finishing moves in WWE history in the People's Elbow has spoken of how he has actually dreamt of playing the character for a long time. Johnson also suggested that he doesn't just see himself playing the character once. I mean, he's been dreaming about this role for years, right? He spoke of expanding the Black Adam universe and the DC universe, telling fans that he is seems optimistic the character will return for more outings. He said, "To me and to all of us up here, all the universes exist in our heads. We all will work very hard to make sure, again, that we honor the mythology but also give the fans what they want." The Fast and Furious star then went on to explain that one of the biggest reasons they have made the movie is because it is ultimately what the fans have wanted for a long time. Then going on to say, "I hear the fans. We all do. We pick up everything they're putting down, and it doesn't get by me. It doesn't get by these guys." He then alluded to the fact that this is simply just the start of the Black Adam story, which he hopes will be a very long road. Will you guys be watching this one? The Rock has been splashing the cash recently. Stay with us to hear all about it. Once you've made a certain amount of cash, it's time to start spending big on your loved ones. And that time is now for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's probably been the time for the past 20 years or so, if truth be told. And the man himself has recently gifted his mom with a brand new home, which is lovely to see. The Rock recently uploaded a video which captured his mom's reaction when she realized what her son had done, becoming instantly emotional as soon as she entered her new crib. The video captured the bond the pair have superbly well, and Johnson himself captioned it with, "I surprised my mom and bought her a new home. It took me and my design team 8 weeks to get it ready," where she could walk through her front door for the very first time and everything she saw was brand new and a total surprise. What a guy. Another video details the features of the house, which shows her new SmackDown room, where she keeps all of her Rocky memorabilia, all sorts of bits and pieces from her son's career. He claimed that she has one of these rooms in every house she's ever had, but he's not a huge fan. He went on to explain that it's her favorite room to bring guests to, and it's my least favorite. Pretty funny. And finally, some news from his other daughter. As well as Simone, Johnson also has another daughter, Tiana, who is quite the Moana fan by all accounts. And of course, Johnson himself voiced the character of Maui in the movie. In a pretty funny turn of events, The Rock has recently revealed how she refused to believe that the character was actually being voiced by her old man. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, would you? Like many fathers, Johnson dotes on his daughter and regularly attends tea parties with her, and has been quoted in the past as saying they help to put his life into perspective. He went on to say, "Man, these daddy-daughter bunny tea parties have a special way of kind of putting life into real perspective," when posting a video of one of the parties recently. He also wrote that Tiana refuses to believe that her daddy is actually Maui from one of her favorite at Disney movies. Hilarious. It must be pretty difficult to convince a child you're actually a Hollywood superstar. As always, thanks for joining us today, and remember to stop by next time when we will be discussing a load of other cool bits and pieces. And why not do us a favor by liking and sharing today's video, whilst also subscribing to our channel so you don't miss out on more great content in the future. Bye guys!